Persephone's quest. Entheogens and the origins of religion. R. Gordon Wasson, Stella Kramrisch, Jonathan Ott, and Carl A. P. Ruck, Yale University Press, New Haven and London. We have no knowledge, but what has been built up by pleasure and exists in us by pleasure alone. The knowledge both of the poet and the man of science is pleasure. Wordsworth's insistence in the 1802 preface to the lyrical ballads on the inseparable association of knowledge and pleasure takes us straight to a profound conjunction in the work of scientist and creative writer. The happy ending of successful theorizing, satisfactory experiment, achieved work of art, creates pleasure, and so does the process or story of discovery. Gillian Beer, TLS, 2nd of November, 1984, page 12,055. Prelude. In the opening chapter of my Soma, I said that there always hovered in my mind's eye the admonitory finger of Tristram Shandy's warning against the occupational hazard of those who advance hypotheses. It is in the nature of a hypothesis, when once a man has conceived it, that it assimilates everything to itself as proper nourishment, and from the first moment of your begetting it, it generally grows stronger by everything you see, hear, or understand. I was reasonably sure of my ground, but also I knew how fallible it was, and I added Lawrence Stern's danger sign in case I had committed a blunder. Nevertheless, now, it turns out that I was right the first time. And I present this book with the proofs from various angles corroborating each other. We are well beyond the stage of hypotheses. R. Gordon Wasson. Chapter 1, Persephone's Quest, by R. Gordon Wasson. As I am nearing the end of my days, I will draw up on account of our mushroom quest, Valentina Pavlovna, my late Russian wife's, and mine, followed by the highlights of our discoveries as I see them. The quest. Back in 1921, I fell in love with a Russian girl, Valentina Pavlovna, in London, where she was studying medicine. We got married at the end of 1926 in England, and came to America where she requalified as a physician. I was a newspaperman covering the Wall Street bank run for the Old Herald Tribune. We took our delayed honeymoon late in August 1927, Big Indian, the Catskills in a chalet, lent to us by Adam Dingwall, a publisher. On our first day, after lunch, we went for a walk down a path that led by a pond and then a clearing on the right, and on the left, the upward slope of a forested mountain. We were hand in hand in a picture of bliss. Before I knew it, my bride threw down my hand roughly and ran up into the forest with the cries of ecstasy. She had seen toadstools, growing many kinds of toadstools. She had not seen the like since Russia. Since 1917, she was in a delirium of excitement and began gathering them right and left in her skirt. From the path I called to her, admonished her not to gather them. They were toadstools, I said. They were poisonous. Come picking, as it seemed to me, indiscriminately. To make a long story short, we had our first marital crisis. During our 5-year engagement, mushrooms had never come up between us, and here she was possessed by the mushrooms. Our walk ended then and there. She with her skirt full of mushrooms of various kinds. Some she put into the soup when she prepared her supper. Others with steak. Others she strung together carefully by the stipes and hung out to dry in the sun. For use in winter, she said. I was beside myself. I acted the perfect dry in the sun for use in winter, she said. I was beside myself. I acted the perfect Anglo-Saxon oath, confronting a wood nymph I had never before laid eyes on. I would eat nothing with mushrooms in it. Later, she said I had predicted I should wake up the next day a widower. But I have always denied this allegation. We checked the attitude to mushrooms with our respective friends. Mine Anglo-Saxon mycophobes, hers Russian mycophiles. Then we looked at the vocabularies. The English used 3 working words. First and foremost, the toadstool, with no translation in Russian. Then the Latin quasi-scientific term fungus. And third, the uncertainly defined mushroom, borrowed from the French mousseron. The Russian vocabulary was endless.